Hi, this is Jacob Hornberger, president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, coming to you one more time here at the end of the year on December 31st. If you've already donated to FFF, we greatly appreciate your support. And if you haven't, I hope you'll consider going to our website at fff.org or dropping us a check in the mail. I've received a couple of feedbacks where I noticed that some people are feeling a sense of despair and despondency and sort of like, oh, what's the point? What are we doing here? And certainly I can relate to that. I mean, there's been times in the last 23 years where I think, oh my gosh, there's just no hope at all. That things are so bad, and things are bad. I mean, the fact that somebody's feeling this way is certainly justifiable. I mean, you've got this gigantic welfare warfare state. You got perpetual crises and chaos and all this dysfunctionality in society and the coerced charity and the plunder and the looting and the invasions, occupations, torture, assassination. I mean, you look at all this stuff and you say, like, who wouldn't get depressed at this type of thing? So it's certainly understandable, but I think we need to keep some things in mind and keep them in perspective. And I mean, I've been doing this for 23 years, and you got to kind of pace yourself in this battle, because if you jump into it with the idea of that, hey, we're going to really reverse this tide, overnight, well, you tend to get burned out. And so you got to pace yourself, but you also, got to think of it in this way. And this is the way I've kind of resolved it for myself: is that, I wasn't given, the world to save or the country to save, and I don't think anybody was. That really what we're about is just doing the best we can, but letting go of the result. The result is out of our hands. That we only control our own actions and how we believe and what we expound and so forth. I like the way George Washington put it. He said, if to offer the people what we ourselves disapprove, then how can we later defend our work? And then he goes on to say that, let us repair to a standard to which the wise and honest can, I think, be attracted, or something like that. The event, the outcome, is in the hands of God. And I think that's what we got to keep in mind here, is that we've got to do the best we can to continue fighting in this cause. Not because we necessarily will prevail. We might not. There's no guarantees. But because we're right. Because this is our philosophy. This is what we believe in. This is what we know will bring peace and prosperity and harmony to our land, as compared to all this chaos and catastrophe and perpetual crises as part of what's going on today. Can we prevail? Of course we can. I mean, look what the statists were able to accomplish. In 1890, like I wrote in my blog today, if you want to go take a look at it, they were facing a society of Americans who didn't believe in and didn't have any Social Security, income taxation, Medicare, payroll taxes, Medicaid, drug laws, gun control, immigration controls, Federal Reserve, paper money, standing army, military-industrial complex, invasions, occupations, torture, assassination. They didn't have any of that. So, it would have been easy for the statists to fall into despair over their cause, but they didn't. They fought hard, or they may have, but they overcame it, and they kept fighting for what they believed in, which was socialism and imperialism and interventionism, and they prevailed. I mean, that's how we end up with today's welfare warfare state, was because the statists, against daunting odds, stuck with it. And so we can do the same thing. I mean, we can continue perseverance and continue expanding our philosophy. No guarantees, but one thing's for sure: if you don't fight, then the chances of prevailing are virtually nil. And so, fighting is a necessary prerequisite to winning. And but again, with no guarantees. But you see, the reason we fight is not necessarily because it will be guaranteed victory, the restoration of liberty, which would be fantastic. But because it's right, because it's our philosophy, and it's a grand and glorious cause that we're involved in. I mean, to me, this cause of libertarianism ranks right up there with the movements for, Magna Carta, the English Petition of Right, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, trial by jury, due process of law, and all of the great monumental achievements in liberty. Can we prevail? Yeah, we can prevail. Darn sure we can prevail. I still think we're going to. I mean, with all the results now that are in with this dysfunctional system the statists have brought us, people can see it this and they can say, okay, this is bad results. But a lot of them don't even know that there's a choice, that this statist system is something totally opposite to what the founding fathers of this country intended for this for America. And so what we need to do is just keep, doing what we're doing and then attracting people to our cause until we reach this critical mass that, like the statists did, that then shifts society. And our weapons are ideas. I mean, there's really no other way. It's the power of ideas. And when you have that faith in ideas, you just keep expounding those ideas. You refine them, you polish them. And so these ideas on liberty are introduced into the marketplace. They influence people, and then we reach, keep attracting people. This is a big movement now. We keep attracting people to the point where we reach this critical mass. And are things dark? Yeah, they're dark. But the upside to this is, like any mountain climber will tell you, the closer you get to the mountaintop, the darker and stormier things get. And so the fact that things are dark and stormy may indicate something that we may be closer than we think to prevailing in this cause. The important thing is that we got to just keep on keeping on. So that's my end of year message to you. Our work depends on your support. And this is our big end of year fundraising time where we start planning on what we're going to do for the coming year. And so we'd greatly appreciate your support. Like I say, if you've already donated, thank you so much. We're getting your letters out to you. And thanks also to those of you that have joined our Freedom Club. That's $250 or above. You get a little monthly video message from me and a little personal gift as a token of our appreciation. But if you haven't donated, we'd love for you to become part of the support that keeps this foundation going. So that's my end of year message. I want to just wish every one of you, from everybody here at the Future of Freedom Foundation, a very happy new year. Thanks for your great commitment to liberty and your great support of FFF.